Just three radio hosts on air dumb debating.
We have reached that blessed time of the week, the middle of the week, where we turn things over to you. You send us your dumb debates. Whenever they pop into your tiny baby brains, you just fire off that tweet to the JTech Construction Zone Twitter page at USC1620. Use the hashtag dumb debates. Or send us an email. Josh at 1620thezone.com, John at 1620thezone.com, Nick at 1620thezone.com, Equitable Bank inbox. And then we'll tackle them here in this segment every Wednesday.
Why did you say our listeners have tiny baby brains?
I mean, Josh, some of them.
Wow.
Some of them.
I mean, compared to like an elephant has a bigger brain.
Interesting.
That's
YouTube user writes, I usually listen to this segment as a podcast, and listening to the Dumb Debates intro at regular speed rather than 2 times speed is quite the contrast.
Oh, I bet it is.
Let's go, YouTube user. Thanks for being one of us.
Let's hit a couple of quickies here before we get to the one that may take over the whole segment.
Perfect.
This was one from John from several months ago. Again, we save these if we don't get to them all.
Or didn't get to
I don't think we did, because one of the classic debates on this show was when Josh erroneously said that fullbacks weren't running backs. John writes, you brought up fullback isn't a running back debate, and I immediately had my first dumb debate question. Is a tight end a wide receiver?
Now it is.
The player that is assigned the position of tight end is often lined up as a wide receiver.
Real quick, John, before we answer this, Nick, do you know why they're called tight ends?
No, I guess I don't. I've never thought about it.
Because they are the end tight to the line of scrimmage. They are aligned with the guard, the center.
Because
the
one of the old wide receiver positions that we don't use this term anymore was split end. So you'd have the tight end who was lined up off of the tackle, and then you'd have the split end that was
split off of that, but still on the line of scrimmage.
But now, yeah, tight ends. I think the answer to this is that they are wide receivers. I think they are wide receivers. Some of them just block more than others.
Again, by the definition of the position is different from wide receiver, but because of their functionality and their use and today's modern game, yes, I would say that tight ends, or at least the players that play the position known as tight end, are just wide receivers.
I can't argue with it.
Here's a quickie from an unnamed texter. What is the funniest crime for Nick to be found guilty of committing? I vote for DUI, where nobody gets hurt.
Why would that be funny? That Nick gets a DUI?
Well, I mean,
probably lose my job if I got a DUI, wouldn't I?
Nah, if somebody got a DUI and worked here in the past, Nick, I think you'd be fine. We just give you a lot of crap for it. I think the goal here, John, is to find something that we could make fun of Nick for.
Well, I was thinking of something like, let's say that he and his girlfriend were having a good time, and then something happened where like maybe you have a pet and the dog escaped outside and they had to go chase it down, and
animal cruelty,
and Nick.
Oh, Josh.
And Nick was in a certain stage of undress, and then somehow he got locked out of his house.
He's a registered sex offender.
And then the cop happened to drive by and see this buck naked guy trying to get into this house, and he gets arrested for indecent exposure.
This sounds like
accidental, but still indecent.
That sounds like Nick. Something that would happen on either Sonny or Seinfeld.
Now you have to register, Nick. Now you have to register. Because the best part, Nick, you would be so defensive about it. But I didn't do it. And sorry, you're going to jail, though.
So
I don't think Nick likes this question.
I would want it to be an accidental thing where it's like an episode out of a sitcom. But yeah, I wouldn't want it in a position, because he could explain that away and still keep his job.
I'd have to move.
I mean, we'd be negligent if we let him go from this job, knowing all the material that we would have on him for weeks and weeks and weeks to come.
I'd be a content machine. Yeah. I would have to move if something like that happened, if I got caught in undress outside.
But if it was accidental.
I mean, if it was accidental, you're still on a list.
Officer, I'm sorry. My dog escaped. You're going to prison, pal.
Damn it.
All right. So.
All Are we diving into it already? Do we not?
Well,
do
yeah,
wanna do
I think
any
we
more
need.
cookies?
I think we need to we don't want to run out of time here. Just in
Okay,
case.
fine. Because I had this one from Baymont.
All right,
what food
all
is
right,
the
all
best
right.
one is leftovers the next day?
Do what?
What food is best is leftovers the next day? Is it John's chili?
Spaghetti or lasagna? I think pasta. Any pasta.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting, Nick. Because I'll eat pasta leftover, but sometimes I just reheat it, and it's like some of the flavor sucks into the noodle, and so it's just not as moist. It's not as wet anymore.
See, but I actually like that the flavor gets sucked into the noodle.
Yeah, that's what you're saying to the cop when you're arrested.
I mean, that's
for
what does
being
that
naked.
even mean?
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put a little sauce in the pot and let it soak into the.
See, and I just do microwave because I'm lazy. So
See, now that we have the air fryer, we've had the air fryer.
Oh, goat.
Leftover pizza.
Yes, that's the answer, John.
Leftover pizza reheated.
Yep.
Is sometimes better than it was fresh. Sometimes. Depends on the pizza.
I think air fryer's cheating.
No, it's not. It's reheating.
It's reheating.
I understand. It just feels like it's cheating.
Cheating?
How is it cheating? It's an invention. It's there. It's legal. It's not sitting outside naked.
It's legal for now.
For now. Nice.
What are you trying to are you going to try to criminalize air fryers?
That's going to be my platform.
Wow, Nick. Also, John, because of air fryers, I think fried chicken now can be involved in this conversation too, which for years, I remember when I was a kid, I would microwave it, and that sucked because it'd get all soggy.
Yeah.
And then I started doing oven, but it just takes forever because you have to wait for it to heat up.
That's a
Air
good point.
fryer fried chicken is also good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yes, it is.
It's good.
So, Stibbs from Beyond the Grave sends us this.
Okay.
For the rest of your life, would you rather have to taste everything that your hands touch
Oh my
or
gosh.
everything your feet touch? So, in other words, anytime, like right now, I've got this Roku remote in my hand. As I touch this Roku remote,
You taste it.
the taste of whatever is on this Roku remote would enter my mouth.
Mhm.
And so it's not like I'm actually eating the Roku, but the taste of it. Same with your feet. Whatever you step on instantly gets transmitted to your taste buds. So if that were to happen, which would you rather it be? Whatever your hands touch or whatever your feet touch?
So my brain goes to the only time you're really in danger, I guess, with your feet is if you're at home or on a beach, maybe a public pool. Because most of the time you're probably wearing shoes, like if you're at work or something. So then you're just tasting your socks.
Yeah. All the time.
No, I understand. But with your hands, you're not wearing gloves all the time. So you're
Mhm.
going to taste more with your hands
Mm-hmm.
than you would with your feet.
I agree.
Unless you do start wearing gloves all the time.
Which, as we found out during COVID, was very annoying.
So my solution is to get those vinyl gloves and stuff them full of peanut butter and then wear them.
All the time.
So then I'm always tasting peanut butter.
No, but you wouldn't be able to function. You wouldn't be able to type. I mean,
You could still function with peanut butter gloves.
I don't think so.
I think we should test it.
You can test this. Just make sure
So-
you're not doing it naked outside of your house.
So let's unpack this because Stibb says hands seems obvious at first. I think it's feet though. We need to discuss the part of the hands because I actually think most of the time hands are going to be fine. Like I'm holding a pen right now. Oh well, I'm holding a plastic.
Oh, I just had a thought about hands.
Yeah, you're going to wipe your butt.
Yes.
That's the obvious thing that we have to
Yes.
discuss is you're touching your body parts that are
Unless
nasty,
you wear
that are the
gloves.
untouchables, Nick.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so you always will have that flavor. Oh,
What I mean, and let's face it. What if? I mean, for some of us, we have to aim certain things,
Yes.
Yep.
and occasionally there might be some splatter.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get that too.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think the answer is feet, because then you could try to, now you talk about manipulating the hands by wearing your peanut butter gloves.
Yes.
Could you somehow find
Peanut butter socks?
the technology? I mean, you got the sweat wicking material and stuff. If there is some way that you can put some kind of flavor onto your socks, because as long as you're walking around in the socks, you're fine, right? But of course, once your feet get sweaty, it's nasty. But I think the variety of unsavory things that your hands come into contact with are much more than your feet, unless you like to walk around barefoot.
But what would you do at like the beach or a pool? Just wear sandals?
Well, this would give me an excuse to never have to go to those places.
Yeah.
Or like if you go swimming, you'll just taste the chlorine all the time.
But you would do that with both your hands or your feet, Nick.
Yeah,
that's right.
True.
Some of the stuff is just unavoidable.
Unless you wear peanut butter gloves.
See, but here's the thing. I think we are underestimating how disgusting it would be to taste your feet all day long.
Well, you're not tasting your feet. You're tasting what your feet touch.
Which is a sweaty sock at a certain point. John, think about yourself during the College World Series. Brought to you by Big of the West.
What? Okay, all right.
You're going to taste your nasty
Hold
stuff.
on.
John, how long are you in the booth for? 12 hours?
Hold on.
That's
all right.
gross.
Here's the workaround. You bring flip-flops. And then you put something on the
Better not
flip-flop.
be leather ones. They got
Peanut
better-
butter.
Right, but I'm saying like even the cheapy ones, you know,
Right.
just and you just have something there because then your feet are getting air. They're not sweating as much.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
And I just think that I mean, we literally just talked about two of the things that your hands will come into contact with
I know.
that if you get that taste in your mouth,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
game over.
unless you're into foot stuff, the feet are pretty safe.
Unless
again,
you're into foot
unless you walk around barefoot a lot. I think there's more workarounds with your feet than there are with your hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm voting feet.
I'm gonna stick with peanut butter gloves.
Stib says flip-flops made of bacon. So I'm the person who
There you
is-
go, Stibbs. From beyond the grave. Sometimes his greatest wisdom comes
So,
after he's dead.
I know you're not tasting your feet, but your feet will be rubbing off on the bacon or whatever. So then eventually you are just gonna get a flavor of feet and bacon.
I think we're underestimating just how your feet would always taste like sock. Always. And even when they're not,
So you're picking hands. You're going to be so self-conscious about everything that you touch.
Join my side, Josh.
can poop really taste that bad? I mean, can it? There's the video, 2 girls, 1 cup. I mean, can it? Can it really taste that bad? I'm going hands.
Now
John.
I want this to happen and just watch how Josh will regret this 12 hours into the experiment.
Stib says it. My dog eats it all the time. Exactly. He loves it. Yeah, so does Banks.
Great.
Star
So
Wars
you want to
fans-
be a dog.
How high is Stibs right now? Bacon-made flip-flops, LOL. Yeah, man. The socks hanging out on the feet all day. I
But
think
your
we are-
hands are touching everything.
Yeah, most things that hands touch are fine. Like I'm touching this bottle.
Really?
I'll lick it. Yeah, I just.
I mean, like you put your I'm putting my
Don't
hand
edit that
on this
photo,
I'm
Nick.
putting my hand on this table that rarely gets disinfected or cleaned.
Yeah, lick
exactly. That'd be
John,
like
it's just the
licking the
taste,
damn
though.
table.
See, but that's the thing. You're
But
not
it's the
getting
stuff that's
germs.
on the table. It's the stuff that's on the table, not the
Just
table
so-
itself.
How
It's just the taste.
how would something like this change the concept of a handshake? People wouldn't shake hands anymore, would they?
Yeah, because now you're touching what the other guy's hand was touching.
Mm.
Or tasting what the other guy's hand was touching. It's got to be your taste.
Mm.
I'm voting feet.
Yeah, I'm voting hands.
Now, Mike does ask, wouldn't you taste toilet paper weirdos?
yeah,
Came up really quick.
most.
But I don't know how thick. I can't speak for the thickness of toilet paper
Mm.
when it comes to having a thing.
See now,
you know?
I want to read this. YouTube user feet/socks is the answer. Hands touch so many germs over the course of the day, you get so sick. You're not ingesting the germs. You're just tasting. You would get to find out what germs taste like, which is a fun experiment.
Yeah.
You're only getting the taste. You're not actually like
You're not
licking
you're not ingesting it. It's just the taste of
Yes.
whatever it is you touch.
You're getting the
Yeah.
sense, but not
yeah.
anything
Now,
else.
Stibbs has also pointed out multiple times. Oh, and he adds, get a bidet. There we go. That solves the problem there. But also that we would, you wash your hands with soap. It would be like washing your mouth out with soap, which
That
is
is-
definitely not fun.
That is
No.
the downside to the peanut butter gloves.
Mm.
It's the one kink.
We just got a tweet that I cannot read on the radio from Sam, but oh my gosh, Sam, I'm going to take a screenshot of this so I can share it with my friends because it's very, very funny. Very, very funny. Holy crap.
I need to see this. Did he
Like,
tag
at
us?
USC 1620. Oh my goodness. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. You know what? I'll just copy and paste it and post it into our little chat here on StreamYard so you can all see it together. There we go. That's what Sam said.
All right. Good question, Stibbs.
That was a
Very
great
good
question.
Wherever
question.
you are.
Yeah. Very good
This is a follow-up from our conversation from last week. Actually, Dave sent this last week, but I did not see this.
Hello.
Remember when I asked about the regulation for a track baton,
Yes.
a
Yes.
relay baton?
And we got a phone call from a local coach.
We did.
Yeah, to find
Who
out,
likes my
do
running
they, do they
podcast.
have like, I mean, is it like a baseball bat where it's got to weigh a certain amount, it's got to be a certain length, et cetera, et cetera? Dave writes, you're competing in the 4x400 relay.
Okay.
Which of these batons would you like to use?
Baton.
A pool cue, a lead pipe, or an icicle?
Say them again.
Pool cue, lead pipe, icicle.
So I assume in this hypothetical, the icicle will last the entire time, right?
Yes, but it will be very slippery, and depending
Cold.
on the icicle, yeah,
Yes.
it will be cold. But most of the time, if you're running, you're probably
good
running
call.
in heat.
Yeah.
But it would be very slippery, and thus the potential of not being able to pass the baton
Yeah.
would be difficult.
And hey,
Yeah.
let's add this too. If the goal is that it needs to be like they designed an icicle that they guarantee will last an entire race,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to have to be a thick icicle.
Yes.
So you're going to have a thick, slippery icicle in your hand.
Icicle.
Okay, so that's one of them. What do you got? The pool cue and the lead pipe is the other one.
Yeah.
I think it's between the pool cue and the icicle.
Yeah.
Is what I would decide, because the lead pipe is just going to be heavier. Now the pool cue is going to be so unwieldy.
Yeah. You poke your eye
I
out.
think I'm going with.
How are you going to poke your eye out? If anything, you might poke the guy in the next lane's eye out, but you're not going to poke your eye out.
Fair enough.
I'm going icicle because at a certain point, I think that it would just kind of conform to your hand, and I think it'd be fairly easy to hold on to. So I'm going to go icicle.
You think you can hold on? What's the longest you've ever held on to like an ice cube?
God,
without-
it would be chilly though.
Yeah.
But what is this? What's the race? Do we know the distance,
It's a
John?
4x400 is what it is.
That's fine. I mean, that for us it would be. I don't know.
My answer is the
2 minutes
pool
for you,
cue.
Nick. I don't know.
My
Pool
answer is
cue.
the pool cue.
Even though it's so unwieldy.
It's not really that unwieldy. Also, my hope is that there'll be a billiards table because it's a track meet. I'll be so bored to tears that I'll just have to stop. And if I see a pool table, I'll just start playing pool.
I think I'm gonna go with the pool cue.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm leaning because I can hold it closer to the bottom, so at least I can still pump my arms.
God,
I feel like
I
that
mean,
would
the lead pipe would give you a better exercise. You build a little muscle
really
as you
would,
run.
Yeah.
it really would.
The pool cue would be interesting. In fact, I might actually watch an event if the baton was a pool cue just to see how awkward it would look.
You look at this. John would get into this sport.
No,
if
I said
this
I'd
was
only
there.
watch it once and then I would be bored with it. And
Would
be
your
like, okay,
answer
that's
change if you could taste with your hands?
Well done, Nick.
enough. You
Well
don't
done.
know where that lead pipe has been.
Mm-hmm.
At least with the icicle, it would be like you're drinking water, or at least the taste of water.
That's true.
Oh,
that's the name of the
Baymon.
movie.
Nick could grip any of them better with his peanut butter gloves. Another argument for the gloves. Thank you,
Another
Baymon.
argument for the
Well, no.
peanut butter
Okay,
gloves.
but you're saying the peanut butter is inside the glove.
Yes.
So the glove,
I
The-
imagine
it-
it would
it-
still, because it would still be kind of like puffy, you know?
well, yeah,
you could
it
conform
would.
things.
The
within
other
that.
thing about it is eventually that peanut butter is going to mix with the sweat of your hands. I don't know if you've worn a lot of those vinyl gloves. Your hands get very sweaty.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's sweaty peanut butter that you're eating.
That's just going to add a little more salt to the already salty peanut butter. It'll mask it. The peanut butter will mask it. I think I have solved the problem.
El Scorcho, wouldn't the icicle rip your skin off when you pass it off to the next guy?
Why would it rip your skin off?
Well, have you ever done that thing where you put salt on your hand and then hold an ice cube?
No.
No.
Oh, well, we were dumbasses in middle school. It burns. It actually burns your skin. So if you add sweat to that mix, I could see that not being fun.
I don't know. I mean, it's just it'll melt. You know, the icicle will just melt. That'd be the real trick, is if the icicle could make it the entire distance.
I think we're assuming that it will.